I think the biggest problem in life is that we don't know what we want. We know what we think we should want. Our parents taught us about those things. Certainly television, the commercials, or schools, and maybe the influence of celebrities. Usually that's money and things, lots of things, perhaps too many. Perhaps too many things is a celebrated measure of success in the modern world. Or at least it was. Early on, this idea disgusted me. Just whatever was normal disgusted me. I decided when I was 13, I wanted to live in a cabin on the edge of civilization where I would be free to pursue my art, all of them. And today I will share some art with you. Some thoughts, some images, some sounds. I thank you for being here this week. I love you all. God bless. Thank you and welcome. So this seems to be a pattern. I'll be working on editing a video like this one. This one sucks. I've called it Uruguay, but I won't. And it's not appropriate because I'm talking about California in this part. But anyway, while looking for some pictures, I stumbled upon this. The Pasadena City Hall. In my last video, the one that I'm editing right now, I am discussing the Beverly Hills City Hall. And like I always say, the old world and the evidence is all around us. There's no end. You just have to know what you're looking for. There's no great showcase, except for this channel, but I can only talk about so much. I mean, you have all the state capitol buildings, for example. Some of the most beautiful and celebrated buildings. I mean, you'll have 50 of them in North America. 50. And then you have city halls. Of course, in Utah, I've shown you our city hall in Salt Lake City. Actually, it's not on here. No Utah here, so pretty incomplete list. But nonetheless, this is the old history scattered. And here, just a question in the dark. Please give me a list of city and town halls in the United States. Such things should be super easy now with the progress and public offering of AI. And I think that this site has long been utilizing this, quickly telling a story for anything you might inquire about. But anyway, here we have a showcase. And again, the Pasadena City Hall. Pasadena recently had a bunch of fires, just like so many places throughout the realm. It was their turn in the lotto, and pretty damn unbelievable. It's both exciting and disturbing at the same time. So here we go, Pasadena City Hall. Awesome. A Superdome and 4 smaller ones. Let's see if we can drop the man, and boom. What a wonder. Looks even larger than it does in a regular photo. City Hall. Look at this detail. The 2 fasces, the 2 urns. Pretty amazing. It really is alien, or just beyond the norms of our present reality. And yet we know in our community, we understand some. I mean, most people will look at this and not even get excited about these fasces. Weapons flaunted in plain sight. This thing is sick, and this is just one of perhaps thousands of city halls. Again, you have 50 states, and then you have hundreds of towns and cities in each of these states. And they're not even doing it justice. Here in Alabama, they're just giving us one. Constructed in 2 years, 1855 to 1857. Old City Hall in Mobile, Alabama. Here's the Yuma City Hall. Yuma is on the southern border of Arizona, bordering Mexico, and this really resembles the entryway to the supposed Alamo. And so you see here in Phoenix, they show us this modern city hall, but at least they show us the former Maricopa County courthouse. And I grew up in Phoenix in my teenage years, and I never went here to this day. Looks like in the 1920s we're told it was built. But anyway, this is nothing. Arkansas Municipal Building, City of El Dorado, Little Rock City Hall, Little Rock, Arkansas, where Bill Clinton is from. Mud-flooded windows, just the top of a building. Texarkana, Arkansas, couple urns up here, artwork. Of course, the Los Angeles City Hall. Here we can see it in 1931, pyramid on top, and here she is today, modernized a little, but essentially a timeless structure. This one's pretty awesome. Oakland, California, not far from San Francisco, pretty much part of the hub. Look at this baby. This is in 1917. I think Oakland is a little run down today. I mean, compared to this, when this was important to build. Look at this. Look at the top. I mean, we essentially have 3 buildings here. Let's be fair. Bottom portion of the cake is insane. It's just suitable for anything. A train terminal, an opera house, whatever the hell you want. A city hall. You can do it all here. You have 5 stories on the bottom part of the cake. Then we have the second building. Come on. Skyscraper, 1917. City hall. What are we doing up here? The employees are so busy. I mean, let's say 50 people. 50 people could run a city hall in 1917. I've been to the city courthouse in Salt Lake dozens of times. There might be 30 people in there. Max 50 again. And that's today. This is 1917. Oakland. And today nothing has changed. Just a beauty. Look at this thing. The top floor of this section houses a 36-cell jail. So we're wondering what was up with the top. It's a jail. 36 cells. Very important. The inmates up here. This almost looks like the top of a star fort. Anyway, you see what I'm saying already. Let's take a quick pause. Okay, so we're still in California. Sacramento City Hall. Sacramento is pretty sick. They're not giving us a face-on photo here. I believe the state capitol building is also in Sacramento. So that was built in 1 year, 1908 to 1909. How overgrown it is. Even in this late picture. We can tell it's a late picture because they have window air conditioning units back here. Sacramento. Okay, now city halls. City halls are great because sometimes there's little difference between a city hall and a state capitol building. I mean, one could have been another very easily. And you can see that now in this example of this city hall. San Francisco City Hall. Boom. Now come on, this could have been anything. In fact, it looks like the Vatican. It has this very Vatican feel, especially the top half. Unbelievable. I'm just enamored and bothered at the same time. I guess that's the nature of this research. Dare I look at the construction date. Reopened in 1915. The present building replaced an earlier city hall that was destroyed during the 1906 earthquake, which was 2 blocks from the present one. Really? Lost one and rebuilt another so easily? History. Here's the original in 1900. Hallelujah. I mean, this thing is sick. It's not just a building. Again, there's multiple buildings going up and out. It's like 20 buildings. 20. And just any little corner of any of this would have been adequate for a city hall. We're told that it burnt and they rebuilt it. Come on. You don't burn this. You can't burn this. This is great. I mean, it's both great and horrible. So here's the supposed remains after it burned. This was my last thumbnail, or maybe the one before that. San Francisco City Hall. Can you even believe we're looking at city halls today? I can't. It's too much. Let's go to Colorado and take a quick pause. Colorado. Beautiful Colorado. Denver City and County Building. The rounded kind of feeling like wing kind of architecture. Denver. Denver's old west. Late in the game. Old Denver. We must think cowboy. What do they say about this beauty? It was built in 1932. Facing Colorado State Capitol. Just a little look at the beautiful state capital. So this is just across the street. You couldn't put both of these municipalities in one of these buildings? No. This needed to just be the city hall. And this is a city I was just thinking of going back to yesterday. I love Ouray. Ouray, Colorado. Again, they're just giving us two out of hundreds in Colorado. But in a way that's good. It gives me something bite-sized to work with. Here we are in Connecticut. Connecticut Town Hall. Not even a city hall, because it's not a city. It's a town. It's just a small town. Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford. I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to my East Coast towns, having lived in the West most of my life. But here's what's going on in Connecticut. Sounds like connection cut. Here is their beautiful municipal building. Look at this wonder. I seriously had the thought that I just wanted to take a bite out of it. It makes no sense. Let's just have a little look at the inside. Empty, like all city buildings today, like museums that no one wants to go to. And let's look at New Haven. Get a good slice of pizza on your way to the city hall or courthouse. Really cool. This reminds me of like Amsterdam or Antwerp. I mean, you could see how it's just this big building, and perhaps it was bigger, but sometimes what they would do is chop these up into individual smaller buildings. New Haven. And here's another town hall. Just a mere town hall. Not even worthy of being a city. Let's pause and try to squeeze in some more. So the shady District of Columbia also has some weird designated buildings, like this Wilson building. There we go, just the Wilson building. And they also have the DC City Hall, former municipal building. How about Florida? Boom. Coral Gables, like some old Rome in Florida. Gorgeous. City Hall. Now, just for comparison, let's look at the ugly Miami City Hall. This is modern. This is the city of Miami. They could probably build anything. And we get this pile of shit that looks like a rec center, just to add some contrast to why these buildings are so impressive. Here's Tampa City Hall. We've got the 3 layers of cake style going on with a cupola. Jacksonville City Hall. Looks like it's been cleaned up, but we still see a lot of ornamentation up here at the top. It's just a treasure trove. Here we can see the Atlanta City Hall. Just a little skyscraper adorned with beauty. City Hall in Macon, Georgia. I don't know my Georgia, but here it is. Just a leaning mud flutter. Looks like it's been whitewashed. Here we can see an old photo of her in 1876. Just a little junk fest around here. Mud everywhere. Griffin City Hall. The Ponce City Market. I made a video on this a long time ago. The old City Hall now turned into apartments and a shopping center. Great. Savannah City Hall. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Savannah City Hall. Just the City Hall. Some statues up here looking pretty fine. Gold Dome. Illinois. Chicago City Hall. I've made many videos about it. One in particular talking about how there were 7 of these babies. 7. And each one mind-blowing. And we're told they just demolished, needed a new one, and a new one. And I mean, the earliest one is beautiful, as you can see here. And it just goes on. This one is mind-blowing right here. We were told it would bankrupt them to demolish it. There was more talk about demolishing it than even building it. Eventually they settle on this one. 7 musical city halls, just in one city, Chicago. Here's Charleston. Never heard of Charleston, Illinois. Here's their city hall. Beautiful. Modest. Of course, if we're seeing a modern picture, it will have been super dumbed down. Here is Peoria, Illinois City Hall. Dome up here. Pretty massive. Looks like it has a twin building over here. Same era, same construction. That was just a little taste of Illinois. Let's take a quick pause. Okay, we're going to move to the bottom of the list. As time is precious and I want to cover as much as I can. Milwaukee City Hall. I proudly use Milwaukee tools. Thank you. Unbelievable. I mean, we could have played Where Are We, but let's move on. Okay, Richmond, Virginia. Richmond freaking Virginia. Come on. A view of the old City Hall in Richmond, Virginia. Not the Virginia I would imagine. Not the tobacco growing Virginia that comes to mind. Gold, gold, gold. Here is Norfolk City Hall, another place in Virginia. It was built in 1847. Nothing to see here. Next, Pittsburgh City Hall. Pittsburgh. In my last video, we were looking at old photos of Pittsburgh and people eating clams on the side of the street. Perhaps this one. And my favorite, one of my favorites. I mean, how could we not look at the Philadelphia City Hall? Come on. Look at the castle in front of it here. Can you see this castle here? Beautiful. And just so intricate. I mean, like some kind of trip. What can be said? Here she is under construction, looking old and dirty. And a look from the front. I mean, how many buildings, again, are we dealing with? Each story is acceptable as an entire building in this time period. Unnecessary. And the tower? The tower, though? No. Next. Scranton. Old scrappy Scranton City Hall. Designed in 1888. That's it. Just designed. A couple architects and open for business. City Hall. Looks like a little store on the left side here in the same style. It's a little side building. Scranton. Scranton, Pennsylvania. I think where the office was said to have taken place. And a little modest one in Bradford. Rhode Island. Looks like they've modernized some of it, the bottom, and yet we can still see the old poking out. Rhode Island. Was it road or was it a road? An old road. Here is Providence City. Like I said, I don't know my East Coast, let alone individual towns and cities and their city halls. Providence City Hall. Here you go. Looks like an awesome place. And Pawtucket City Hall. There you go. Everyone knows Pawtucket. Not. Gorgeous again. Towering building. Another back here. Just an old part of town. Built in 3 years. 1933 to 36. Oregon. Astoria City Hall. Klamath Falls City Hall. Portland City Hall. Portland, Oregon. Some urns on top. Gotta have the urns. Sir, did you budget for the urns? Ohio. Ohio. Columbus City Hall. Look how they've left the interior brick, only facaded the exterior. College Hill Town Hall. Cleveland City Town Hall. Look at this. Even in modern times, they can't even clean it. Like it's never been cleaned. You can see the power washers could only reach to here. And they know most people aren't looking or caring. Cleveland. And Cincinnati, of course. Look at this thing. Cincinnati. This one kind of has a similar feel to many that we've seen. Looks like a cookie cutter. Could have been a church. Anything. Too much for a city hall or 1893. Completed. Just completed. No problem. And let's just have a comparison. Here's the Kingston City Hall. Still old, just an old brick building. Now it looks like it's a museum, of course. But just to show you that it doesn't need to be much more. This is a fine building for a city hall today. And here we go. This one is just winking at us. Asheville, North Carolina. Look at the top of this thing. Unbelievable. Really special building. Kind of star-shaped from the top. It was constructed in 2 years, from 1926 to 28. Brooklyn City Hall in New York City. City Hall. Mind blower right next to it as well. Look at this thing. This has been such a touristy video. Albany, New York. Come on. This looks like we're in Bavaria or something. What is this? That's it. You have to have a tower with all the slit windows to defend the Albany City Hall. In New York, just having a slew. Syracuse, New York. How did they justify such buildings to the taxpayer? 1889 to 1993 in the Romanesque Revival architectural style. Syracuse. Schenectady. Sorry, I don't know how to say that. Schenectady. Rochester City Hall. This has been great for me. I hope you've enjoyed it. This has been an absolute mind-blowing tour through North America, through the eyes of the City Dam Hall. It was built between 1885 and 89. And New York, New York, New York. This is just what you think of. Is it this one or is it this one? This looks like a World's Fair building on the right side. I would like this on a baseball hat that says New York. Here is a place or a city called Cahoes? Who cares? Here's their city hall. Tower. Got to have the tower. For whatever reason. As we read earlier, you might need to house inmates in the tower. I mean, really? In North America, this locking people up in tower story still finding its way into modern history? Yes. Here is Binghamtown City Hall. Binghamtown. I think the H is supposed to be silent. And here's the Buffalo City Hall. This is probably one of the most mind-blowing. Unbelievable. Why? With the obelisk in front? I mean, come on. If this isn't a hotel from the old world, I don't know what is. This is not meant to be a city hall. What an insult. Nor this, nor the old Buffalo City Hall. This is the old one. That was the new one. I mean, can you imagine if we just had a tour of all of these buildings and weren't told what they were, if we weren't even told where we were? So, a whole bunch in New Jersey. I hate to blast through it. Newark City Hall. Newark City Hall, come on. The gold, though? The gold? Yes. Too much. Too much. How about Missouri? University City Hall. Have you ever seen this thing before? Looks a little top-heavy. Really, though? Really? First time I've ever seen that. St. Louis City Hall. Wow. Super weathered. This reminds me exactly of the old Provo City Library. I did some drone footage of it. Same style building. Model number 1340. Like out of a catalog. St. Louis City Hall, Missouri. This is really interesting. After the state, they always give you the former ones. So either buildings that have been demolished or sometimes are just sitting there empty. Like this little castle, another castle that become museums. Mind blowers, but again, I appreciate the showcase. Minnesota. Let's pick one in Minnesota. How about Hastings City Hall? Could have been a church. Mud flood windows we see over here, buried in the snow. Hastings. If you, for some reason, discovered this video and have no idea what I'm talking about, the idea is that these buildings all existed before they were designated as city halls. We don't build municipal buildings like this today, and in my opinion, we never did. These are ruined. These are what existed in North America before our people waltzed in after a destructive event. They simply moved into these buildings. North America looked like this before any story of a George Washington or any such characters. North America was every bit as European or Roman. And what we find is identical structures all throughout the world, pointing to this really obvious fact once it's pointed out to you. So for this week, I thank you for joining me. I love you all. Do have a blessed day, and I'll see you next week. God bless.